Good morning, my friend. As we begin this new day together, I want to invite you into a quiet moment of reflection, a moment where your heart can slow down and simply rest in the presence of God. Before the noise of the day rushes in, before the worries and responsibilities start pulling at your thoughts, let's take a breath and remember this truth. God's protection does not mean a life without trouble, but it does mean a life that is never walked alone. Many of us were taught, sometimes without realizing it, that if God is truly protecting us, then nothing bad should ever happen. No pain, no loss, no fear. But life quickly teaches us otherwise. We face hard seasons. We walk through uncertainty. We experience moments that leave us asking, Lord, where were you? And yet, even in those moments, God was not absent. He was present, quietly, faithfully, walking with us through it all. God's protection is not the removal of every storm. It is His presence in the middle of the storm. It is His hand steadying you when the ground feels unstable. It is His voice reminding you, you are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. Just like a loving parent walking beside a child through a dark hallway, God does not always turn on all the lights, but He never lets go of your hand. Think about the moments in your life when you felt stretched, tested, or overwhelmed. You may not have felt protected in the way you hoped, but somehow, you made it through. You're here. You're breathing. Your heart is still beating. That alone is evidence that God has been carrying you, even when you didn't realize it. His protection often looks quieter than we expect. It looks like strength you didn't know you had, peace that doesn't make sense, comfort that shows up right when you need it most. This morning, I want you to release the idea that protection means a pain-free life. Instead, allow your heart to embrace a deeper promise. God is with you in every step, every valley, every unknown ahead. When life feels heavy, that does not mean God has stepped away. It often means He is closer than ever, guiding you through with purpose and love. As we move forward in this time of prayer today, let this truth settle into your soul. You are not walking into this day unguarded. You are walking into it held, seen, and deeply loved by a God who goes before you and stays beside you. Take comfort in that. Let your heart rest there. As we stay in this quiet space together, I want to gently shift your attention to something we don't always notice in the moment, but often recognize later: how God protects us in ways we don't fully understand until we look back. So much of God's care happens behind the scenes, outside of our awareness, woven into the ordinary moments of life. Have you ever looked back on a season and thought, that could have gone so differently? Or I don't know how I avoided that, or even, I'm so glad that didn't work out the way I wanted. At the time, it may have felt like frustration, delay, or disappointment. But with time and clarity, you begin to see that God was quietly shielding you. He was guiding your steps away from something you were never meant to carry. Sometimes God's protection shows up as a closed door, a relationship that didn't move forward, a job opportunity that slipped away, a plan that fell apart at the last minute. In the moment, those experiences can sting. They can leave us confused or discouraged. But what if those closed doors were acts of mercy? What if God was protecting your heart, your future, or your peace from something you couldn't see yet? Other times, His protection looks like a delay, a long wait, a season where prayers seem unanswered. We're so quick to ask, why is this taking so long? But what if God is using that time to prepare you, to redirect you, or to keep you from stepping into something before you're ready? Some of the greatest protection in our lives has come through timing we didn't understand at first. And then there are those near-miss moments. The accident that almost happened, the wrong turn that somehow became the right one, the sudden feeling to pause, to stop, to wait just a little longer. Those moments aren't random. They are gentle nudges from a loving God who sees the full picture when we only see what's right in front of us. This morning, instead of asking, why did this happen? I invite you to try a different prayer. Whisper, thank you, Lord, for what I didn't see. Thank Him for the dangers you never faced, the heartaches you were spared, and the paths you were quietly led away from. Gratitude has a way of opening our eyes to God's protection that has been there all along. As you step into this day, carry this awareness with you. God is not only working in the moments you understand, but also in the ones that confuse you. Even when things don't go according to plan, you are still being guided, still being covered, still being cared for. And one day, when you look back, you may realize that what felt like a setback was actually God's hand, gently protecting you every step of the way. As we come to this final moment together, I want to invite you to do something simple but powerful rest. Not just physically, but deeply in your spirit. Rest in the truth that God is protecting you, not because you have everything figured out, but because He is faithful. This morning is not about striving harder or trying to control what lies ahead. It's about surrender. It's about trusting that the same God who protected you yesterday is already present in everything you will face today. So many of us wake up carrying the weight of responsibility. We think about the people who depend on us, the decisions we need to make, the unknowns that sit quietly in the back of our minds. And without meaning to, we step into the day already tense, already bracing ourselves. But God invites us into a different posture. He invites us to place today in His hands before it even begins. To say, Lord, I don't know what this day will bring, but I trust You with all of it. Resting in God's protection doesn't mean nothing will challenge you today. It means you don't have to face those challenges alone. It means that even if plans change, even if unexpected moments arise, you are held, you are guided, you are covered. When you release the need to control every outcome, peace has room to settle in. A quiet confidence replaces fear, not because everything is easy, but because God is near. This morning, imagine placing every concern gently into God's care. Your work, your family, your health, your future, even the things you're afraid to name out loud, let them go, one by one. God is strong enough to carry what you cannot. And as you release those burdens, allow His peace to take their place. A peace that steadies your heart and anchors your soul. Choose today to walk forward with trust instead of worry. When anxious thoughts try to return, remind yourself, I am not alone. God goes before me. God walks beside me. Let that truth guide your steps, shape your decisions, and soften your heart throughout the day. As you move on from this moment of prayer, carry this assurance with you. You are deeply loved, carefully watched over, and never forgotten. Whatever today holds, you do not walk into it unprotected. You walk into it held by a faithful God. May your heart remain at rest, your spirit stay anchored in peace, and your steps be guided by trust as you begin this new day.